How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the OGs. That's the new name, the OGs.
That's
The
the
logo's
name.
not done yet. The thumbnail's not done yet, but it's the OGs. It's me, Turkish. It's my bro, Curtis. We're back once a week, every week. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed here, but also make sure you're subscribed to Curtis's channel in the description below. A bit late, people. Apologies, but I think you're used to that from both me and Curtis across both channels. But it is what it is. Builds up a little anticipation. But hit the like button same way. What are you saying, my bro? Obviously, I've been in Cyprus for a little while as well, and I come back to that game. But yeah, talk to me, man. The watch along must have been mad.
Bro, like I think I said last week, didn't I? I said, yo, the air feels different, man, after that Liverpool win. The air smelling good again, everything's just, it's nice, it's good, man. We're living good, but we still got a long way to go. Someone said to me on the stream today, he was like, yeah, I get it, big wins, but you're still third in the league. And I was like, you know what? That's a good point. Context. Like, I'm happy, but just brick by brick, man. Keep building and see where it takes us. But yeah, that game was mad. You was there, so I want to know from you, the atmosphere and the fire drill at halftime, West Ham fans leaving.
Yeah, it was all, bro. I can't lie, I predicted 3-1, yeah, but when I was there with Laurie. I was there with Laurie, and I turned to him, I go, I feel like we're gonna get the job done by half time. We ain't done it in time. I ain't been to a away game in a little while. Like, I know I went away to Brentford, but I know someone that works in Brentford, so I wasn't with the away fans. I was, in the corporate stuff. So it wasn't really an away game. So this was my first proper away game of the season. It just felt different. I thought, nah, we're gonna do this. But then 30 minutes in, I'm thinking, maybe not. We're not gonna see this off. And then what? When did we score the first goal? 30th minute.
Something like
around that time. The last 15 minutes, it was one after the other. When it hit 3, West Ham fans started dipping. Because obviously the form as well going into this game. And then 3-0 down after, 44 minutes or whatever it was. You saw at least a few hundred leaving. The fourth one went in, it turned into a couple thousand maybe that decided to head out. A mix between heading out for half time as well and maybe grabbing a beer or food or something. But a hell of a lot of fans didn't come back as well. And listen, people will debate about, stay till the final whistle and all of that. And I remember Tobes when he left at the 44th minute of the North London derby last season or the season before.
Yeah.
Bro, 4-0 down at halftime at your own ground. That is peak.
I'm in the car park. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I go to an Arsenal game. They're 4-0 down in the first half. I'm starting up the car. I'm out of it. Bro, you ain't playing. Bro, you go through enough in your life here. You go football, you want to, man, let me enjoy. 4-0 down in the first. I'm in the car park, wheels spinning out of there, bro.
Nah, I hear you. You gotta beat the traffic, bro. I can't. You gotta make something out of nothing in that situation. I can't even lie to you. Yeah. So then West Ham fans, listen, it is what it is. I know bare people are taking the piss online. Sky Sports cameras showed it and all of that, but they're not going through a good period. But listen, we had to get the job done. We got the job done. And the way we followed up was perfect, bro. Because we even spoke about it last week after Liverpool Anfield 1-1. We had West Ham, Emirates. We all thought we're going to kick on, maintain our position first in the league. We lost. We lost against Fulham. We backed up that good point at Anfield with 2 L's that the season before we beat both. Wait, did we beat West Ham at the Emirates last season? We did. It was away that we drew 2-2, innit?
Yeah, we drew away,
and we beat Fulham away. I think it was 3-0 last season. So this time we had to back it up properly, bro. And we backed it up properly still. Between the set pieces as well, because the first 20-30, we was the better side, but it wasn't like we was, free flowing, creating like, we was opening them up here and there. I think Saka had a chance that went just wide. I'm not sure if he should have done better, to best. I haven't seen a replay of it. But then that set piece opened things up, bro. West Ham didn't. It's like they just thought, oh shit, we're 1-0 down. We've got to go for it all of a sudden, and they just got opened up.
I think the problem with West Ham, before the game, I was looking, they hadn't won in their last 5. And that was like Bristol City knocked them out of the FA Cup. They drew, and then they drew with Bournemouth. They're in a bad run of form. And I think when Moyes has got to win a game, he's not the manager you want. Like, Moyes is very good at going 1-0 up and then looking after it.
Yeah, we saw that.
As we saw in the home game, where I think we threatened this score a lot of times this season. How many times you watched Arsenal and gone, no, how many chances are these lot going to miss?
Yeah.
And not shooting from outside the box. So I feel like someone was due a pasting by us. And even in the first 20, 30 minutes, I was thinking, Trossard put that header wide. Saka missed a chance. Areola saved a volley from Trossard.
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3 chances, I was thinking, if we go in 0-0 at half time here, West Ham are not going to play like this for the whole game. And then, like I said, the goals came, set pieces. A couple of weeks ago, when I saw Rice taking set pieces, I was like, why is he taking corners? Because he's quite tall and he's good in the air.
Yeah.
They call, on my stream today, I'm calling him Beckham Rice, fam. You know what I mean? Like, them set pieces were mad. Pure whip, Mr. Whippy settings, you know what I mean?
They were cold. They were cold.
Yo, the deliveries, man, and then obviously the goal as well. So it was nice to see. And what I love so much about the game was 4-0 at half time. It's easy as a player to just think game's over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we came out again, scored another couple goals, could have scored a few more, didn't concede as well, which I really wanted us to keep a clean sheet. Obviously, I think we're level with Man City on goal difference now and 1 behind Liverpool. So
yeah,
we made up some ground there. So, I mean, I was saying today, is that the best performance since Arteta has been manager for an overall game? Or
it might be, for an overall game, it might be. I think that there's been bigger results, but
yeah.
I'm hearing feedback. Is that mine or?
Oh, let me check.
Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear it.
Anyway, if the people can't hear it, then they might be blessed. But
yeah.
I haven't seen nothing in the comments yet.
No.
But what was I saying?
Was it his biggest performance, best performance?
Not biggest win, but
yeah,
I'd say all round best performance, probably from set piece goals to opening them up to creating chances to quality football to individual brilliance. I think it's definitely up there. Off the top of my head, it's hard to think of one all round that's better.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, candidates there would be.
I mean, I think you're looking at like Man City FA Cup semi-final and Chelsea FA Cup final. They were big.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With
Liverpool last week overall was big, I think.
Yeah. That was beating Man City 1-0, even though I don't think we played that great going forward. But I just think we had total control of this game. So, but yeah, it's just it's one game at a time.
Who was your man of the match?
I gave it to Rice because for me, so much emotion in that game. Fans booing him, some applauding him, 2 assists and an absolute worldie of a goal. It's got to be him. I know Saka got it from Sky, but I think Rice over the 90 was better. Better. But I don't mind who gets.
Yeah, so do I. A few people are saying Odegaard. I think Gabriel was up there with a shout as well. I think Lee said Saliba or Jordan said Saliba on Forever Arsenal. Yeah. Listen, it was a team effort, all round team effort. Like no one was below a 5 out of 10. That's what I'm
saying. We'll talk about that.
Oh, my people in the chat. Yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, it was one of those ones, bro, where everyone done something, innit? Everyone done something. What was I gonna say? But Gabriel. Yeah. It came out just before the game or a day before the game. The quotes about the start of the season and how I don't know if he meant to say it, but it came out in the wording that Arteta convinced him to stay. Obviously there was a big bid from Saudi, I think it was. So, number one, are you worried? And number two, like how good has he become over the last couple of years? Because there was a lot of question marks about him early on, rash, and is he going to be able to calm that rashness down? And he has done. And I think he was a 10 out of 10 yesterday. Off the ball, when you're watching on TV, you don't often see it, but off the ball, he was roughing man up. Like when he had to move a man, shoulder them out the way, push them he was doing what he had to do, the dark arts as a centre back. And on the ball, he was quality. He didn't, the only weakness he probably does have. I know people say on the ball. I wouldn't say on the ball. I think his passing is pretty decent for a centre back. I just think maybe his on the ball movement moving forward. That's the edge that Saliba has on him. On the ball move between the lines. Gabriel doesn't really have that. But are you worried about him being tempted by this whole Saudi thing?
No, I'm not now. I feel like in the summer it was a bit of a strange situation in the summer, wasn't it? Like he seemed happy, and it was like all of a sudden he's being linked with a move. Maybe I mean, obviously they've offered crazy money for him. It's turned his head.
Yeah,
Um, but it's. I'm not worried about him leaving. He looks very happy at the club. He looks like a leader. Speaks good English now. Obviously, I take Cruz to get his hair cut by HD Cuts. HD Cuts does Gabriel's,
yeah.
hair, and so I'm always like, yo, what's this? And he's saying Gabriel loves it in London. He's got a young kid, got his missus, he's settled. So I don't think there's any problem with him leaving. It would have been insane to let him go, to be honest. But the money obviously turned his head. In terms
Remember
of
he was
how
linked
good,
to,
go on.
remember he was linked to Delete earlier this season,
Yeah,
and it
nah.
didn't make sense. But
Nah, it didn't. Delict hasn't really lived up to that, what we thought he was going to be at Ajax. Still a good player, but I look at Arsenal over the last, probably since the Invincibles, we've only really had a handful of good centre backs. Really, you would say probably Koscielny, Vermaelen, who was injury prone.
yeah,
Apart from that, everything's below that. Do you know what I mean? Mertesackers, and
yeah.
obviously we've had way worse Scalachis and people like that. I would argue I would say these are the two best centre backs we've had since the Invincibles. I actually
I'd be
think he's
agreeing.
better than Koscielny as well, Gabriel.
Yeah,
I honestly do.
bro. I think so, man. I think Koscielny was good for what he was around. I think
Yeah,
Koscielny, in terms, he never reached that top level as a centre back, in my opinion. I think Vermaelen was closer, but Vermaelen was never available at,
yeah,
at big periods at Arsenal. That was his problem. But Koscielny was available a hell of a lot. He was very good, Koscielny, at times, consistently good. He wasn't great, bro. Whereas I think
no,
Gabriel's ceiling, I think Gabriel is playing at a higher level than Koscielny ever played for us at this moment in time, last 18 months or so. And I think
yeah.
he's still got more to he's still got more to go. Like, how old is he? 24?
I think he's 25. Yeah, he's definitely got a long way to go. I think if you look over the best centre backs in Premier League history, they're all physically very tough. You
Yeah,
can't. Terry and Ferdinand Campbell, they're all
all of
solid.
them.
Tony
All of
Adams.
them.
Koscielny always felt lightweight to me. Like, you see Drogba and them and just dash him off like nothing. Like, even last week against Liverpool, I love how Gabriel was winding up Nunes. He gave him a little slap over the back of the neck, and I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
thought,
yeah.
he's like an old school defender in the modern game, but he's clever with it. It's not like he's getting sent off left, right, and center. Like you said, you was at the game. He's got a very good way of like winding up the opponent.
Yeah, he loves it.
Um, but I think he's a brilliant player. It's very easy to just get caught up in Saliba because Saliba is the modern centre back, and he looks like he doesn't even break a sweat when he plays. But I think Gabriel's outstanding. I think he's got a lot better on the ball. Like I
Mhm.
said, last season he didn't miss one game the whole season. No injuries, no suspensions. I think he's a top, and everybody wants a left footer there now, don't they? They all want a
Yeah,
left-footed centre back. So you look at
yeah.
Lisandro, how much he gets injured at Man United. So I think Gabriel, he's part of that core foundation that we've got to build around, for the next 5 years.
We
So
have to.
brilliant. Yeah.
Was he one of the contracts we extended, or like when's
Yeah,
his
I think,
one?
yeah, we extended it.
Last season?
Was it last
In
season? Yeah, let me check. I'm sure
'Cause I don't
last season
remember
we
it.
give him.
We did. I remember we did Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard last season. We did
Yeah.
Saliba last season. I don't remember. Has Gabriel got an extension since the initial contract he got, or is it coming up to a year left? So,
His contract runs out summer 2027. So
he's got an
maybe it was
extension.
last year. Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
extended it. Yeah.
So that's that. What's that? 3 years to go. Yeah.
3 years. Yeah.
That's pretty safe then in terms of
Yeah.
protecting value as well. But yeah, he is moving back. But yeah, Saliba gets most of the because Saliba's like when you see him, he's a bit as a defender. It's not often you see defenders with that sort of composure as even like over the years as Saliba has. That's probably why he gets more of the praise. But that sort of a centre back needs a Gabriel sort of centre back next to him with a bit more of a rough edge, a bit more.
Mm,
No, I won't say no. I won't say head gone, but I mean he's got that bit of more aggressiveness to his game, Gabriel, and I think that's
yeah.
how they complement each other well. Who else?
Yeah.
Ben White's picked it up recently. I can't lie. Ben White.
100%.
I think Ben White's very. You know what? I'm not one to. I'm not one to hype players, but I think Ben White's quite underrated in general. I actually like him quite a lot. He's not the best right back in the world, but he's been quite efficient for us in the last 18 months, 2 years. He's been playing right back.
Yeah.
Do you think he's underrated? Do you think he's overrated, or do you think he's rated enough?
Um, yeah, because again, when you look at Arsenal over the years at right back, we haven't had great right backs, have we? Bakary Sagna was
Daniel's
decent
the
for a
last
bit, but
one.
he wasn't amazing on the ball. Abue went downhill. Since Lauren and Lee Dixon, what a great right back have we had at the club? So to say he's not a natural right back, I think he's very solid. We don't talk about him often, which clearly means he's doing well. I do think Arsenal will get a right back in the summer. I do think they're going to look for a Frimpong or a right back that gets forward a lot more, that's getting more assists and stuff. But I think when he's in the team, I've got no worries about him, and that's probably the biggest compliment I can play him. I'm not
Bro,
scared.
yeah.
Hector Bellerin was
Don't
a
say that
scary
name, bro.
movie, bro.
That's why I laughed just now. I laughed because someone said Bellerin. I had flashbacks, bro. I was thinking
Yeah.
maybe that's why I rate Ben White so highly, because we've come from Bellerin, bro. Because that era
Bro.
is not an era I wanna end.
When you look back on that era and you think about some of the players, I said this the other day. I said, I'm glad I wasn't making content when Wenger was the manager, because, it was just too emotional. If I was making content when Bellerin was playing, when, Mustafi at centre back, I'm convinced I would have no channel. I would have said something, they would have kicked me off.
Bans from YouTube.
I'm telling you, we've had some bad players, man. That's why Wenger, he was like, bro, your talent ID was impeccable. And next
then
minute, you're signing Mustafi for 35 million and you got Bellerin. Like, I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know either, bro. It's hard. It's one of those ones. It's hard to. It's hard to. Yeah. We needed a documentary one day or some sort of in depth, because that book that he brought out, trust me, if you haven't read it, you don't find that much, bro. It's all secrets and codes in terms of what you really want to hear. But Bellerin, bro. But yeah, Ben White definitely. Listen, I think he's underrated. I think he's a top. I think he's a top right back. And he's even got. You know what I like about him? Yeah. He don't like football, that's one thing. But when he plays, he gives 100. He's got a bit of flair about him. He might try and turn a man, nutmeg a man. It's not like that costume where sometimes you have defenders that do that all the time or do that too much and it catches them out. You don't often see Ben White caught out too much. Listen, you've seen him caught out. I'm not saying he's impeccable in that department. What I'm saying is you haven't seen him caught out that much. Last season, he was a top 2 right back. This season, I think initially, he wasn't the levels he was setting last season, but nor was Martinelli, Saka, Jesus, everyone across the team wasn't setting the level. So last few weeks, Liverpool especially, and then not that he had much to do against West Ham, but I think he done what he had to do. Who else? Saka double 10 goals for the season, bro. Again, 3rd season in a row. 11 goals a couple years ago, 14 goals last year. He's on 10 now. He's due to break 14. His trajectory is on the right path.
Yeah, man. Do you know what? I did quite an in-depth report on Saka on Friday, because I find myself in player ratings. I keep going, Saka didn't really play that well, but he scored, or he got an assist, or it was a big moment. To me, he's become that clutch player this season. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I can have a quiet 90 minutes, but I'm going to influence this game. And I think that's a massive compliment to him, at 22 years of age. Anyone I know who knows anything about him, they always talk about his mentality. You don't see him in the club. You don't see him drunk. He's not around loads of girls. He's focused on his game. He's strong. He trains well. He hardly ever gets injured. He clearly wants to be a top football player. And, a lot of people at Liverpool say, Salah doesn't have a good game, but he comes out of that game with a goal. He'll get you 20 goals a season. I think Saka has had to readjust a little bit this season and say, you know what, everyone respects me now. When I turn up, I've got 2 players on me. His game's probably got to go up to another level to deal with that, because all the old school wingers, Robben and them, man, they were dealing with 2 players like it was nothing. So maybe he has to add another dimension to his game, but he's going to probably get 15 plus league goals this season and probably get double figures assists as well.
Yeah.
You're talking about top 3 probably right wingers on the planet, really. If we're looking at you probably
No,
say
yeah,
Salah, Rodrigo, and Saka are probably the top 3 right
yeah,
midfielders at the
yeah,
moment. So,
yeah.
he's becoming a superstar for me. Even if he's not quite playing at the same level, he's a top
The
player.
consistency is mad. The
Yeah.
consistency is mad. What do you think the difference has been between him and Martinelli this season? Because up until this season, the trajectory seemed to be on the same path. And if you ask me who I'd prefer out of the two star wise over the years, it's been Martinelli. I've even said that I think Martinelli's ceiling is higher, but this season Saka's brought that whole exactly what you said. I'm not playing well, but I'm gonna get a goal or I'm gonna get the assist. I'm gonna do something to make the difference. Whereas Martinelli's not playing well, or sometimes he plays well, but his end product lets him down, and his numbers are nothing in comparison to last season. I mean, is that something to
Yeah.
worry about, or do you think this is just part of the old tactical switch up that's happened this season, and he's maybe so far still to catch up with it?
That's a good question. I think, yeah, Martinelli is always going to have that difficulty that his left back inverts, so he doesn't get that overlap to go and
Yeah,
pull the right back away, and then Martinelli's more exciting. Peak Martinelli and peak Saka, I would rather watch peak Martinelli play because he's so
yeah.
direct. He's going to rip you to bits. He's probably the fastest player at Arsenal, in my opinion. On the ball, I'd say
Oh,
so.
yeah, on the ball, yeah, and when you watch
Yeah,
it on the pitch, I think, yeah, you can't argue with that.
he's rapid, but I
We've
think with
seen him go from
Martinelli,
one side of the pitch to the other, like, multiple times, so I
no
think you're
problem.
right.
Look at the
Yeah,
Chelsea goal and that. So
yeah,
I think the problem with Martinelli, I saw a thing a few years ago with Pep when he was talking about Foden, and he said, because they were saying, why do you not play Foden more? He's such a talent. And he said, Phil can only play at one speed. And I sometimes think that's with Martinelli. He plays at 100 miles an hour all the time. Well, I think Martinelli needs to learn sometimes, slow the game down, be a bit more intelligent, keep the ball, and pick your moments, where I think Saka has that game intelligence a little bit more than Martinelli. And I think that's why he can have a quiet game and score. When Martinelli has a quiet game, he doesn't usually score. It's like he has to play well to get those goals and assists as well. So
but
I think they've both got high ceiling, but yeah, the development is definitely a little bit different.
don't you think that that part of Martinelli is what makes him exciting, though? Is the
Yeah,
fact that even he doesn't know how it's gonna go sometimes, and that's kind of part of the trouble. Do you get it? And modern day
yeah,
football, we've talked about it before. I think me and you have, I have for sure, how players that grow up expressing themselves are formulated or made to suppress that on the pitch a lot in modern
yeah,
day football. Would that be detrimental to him? Because I think of Martinelli in that approach. You see how you're right with Saka. He's learned to become a real system player in this. I think that's what it is. Whereas Martinelli still, he's like the, what do they say in a deck of cards? The Joker in the pack, or whatever they say, whatever. He's like
mm,
the wild card.
yeah, yeah.
Do you think system Martinelli could work? Because I don't know if is technically gifted enough the right word. Because that sounds a bit harsh for him. But I think yeah, I don't know what it is. But do you think it could work him becoming more of that type of player?
I know what you mean. You've got to he's a free spirit, isn't he? You've got to let him
Mm,
do his own thing. The thing for me with Martinelli is majority of the teams in the league, they're going to come to the Emirates, they're going to sit on the edge of the penalty area, right? Any team from probably 10th down, they're going to camp on the edge of the box. And I feel like Martinelli's game thrives when he's got space. It's no coincidence. Every time we play Liverpool, Martinelli rips Trent apart. And the reason is Liverpool will
yeah,
push up to the halfway line because they're trying to squeeze the pitch. So he thrives on that space. He has great games against Man City, but he probably struggles more if we were playing like a Burnley at home who were camped on the edge of the box. So I just think he's got to tweak his game a little bit and say, okay, if I haven't got that space to run past the right back, how can I still be effective? Can I cut inside? We used to sit with Pires all the time. Look how many times Pires wasn't lightning quick. He run at the
yeah.
right back, cut inside. How many times you see Pires bend it in the far corner? Did it for fun. Liverpool, he lived off them goals. I think Martinelli sometimes got to go, okay, I haven't got the space today. but I can play in front of the defender and still be a threat. So I get you. You don't want to kind of take away that raw edge from him, because I think that's what makes him so special. That's why Klopp loves him. But you've also got to, tweak it a little bit. Just be a little bit more intelligent.
I think you know what, you've made you've made the point for me, Carl. That's what it is. What you just said about Perez, and then Robben came to mind, where they've got to move. They've got to move, but you're not stopping that move. Because they've refined it so much, and they can still be a threat if they did opposite to what the usual move is. So it still keeps you. Robben had that, Perez had that, Bale had that, especially at Tottenham, and that whole cutting in there. I think Martinelli hasn't found that one guarantee in the final third where what's coming from Martinelli here in the final third. Whether it's even, I'm not even necessarily saying it has to be a goal. It could be that whole get to the byline, cut it back, and an assist, and that starts growing in his game more so than the goal scoring. But right now it's so wild that we just don't know. We don't know. He don't know when he's running the ball where it's gonna go, where he's going, and that's part of the fun of it. But at the same time, he probably needs to refine something, and that's what makes him different to Saka. Sometimes I used to think that for Saka more than Martinelli. I used to think, Saka, you got a left foot, bro, cutting and bent that Robben. That's what I used to think. But now I don't see that or need that as much from Saka, because he's more all round, and I'm coming used to the whole double thing from him. 10-10. That's every season I'm expecting 10-10 from Saka. Whereas with Martinelli, it was more goals expected than Saka for me moving forward. So he needs to find that. We've got a couple of super chats. Let me get them super chats before we move on, so it doesn't build up too much. There's 1.5k in the building. Let's hit the like button, people. Come on, that's big numbers. Let's hit the like button. It was scheduled for 7 initially, but I moved it back to 6 after agreeing with Curtis that we can go live. Chelsea are playing later as well, so if anyone wants to watch that, they can watch that. Big 6 later. Curtis done a live earlier. He does lives all week, so make sure you subscribe. First one. Chautanya says, "What are your top 5 matches under Arteta?" Top 5.
Oof. Top 5.
I think yesterday was there without a doubt, 100%.
That's in there.
So you put that one in there. No particular order, let's say. That's in there. I think the Man City semi-final and Chelsea final have to be in there.
They have to be. Two biggest for him.
Them two are in there.
The other two, I don't know. Would you say beating Man City this season? Or is it still not?
It did feel like that did feel like something still. It's just that is it going to end it? I think Tottenham away last year has to be in there.
That was massive. We slapped them up, didn't we?
Yeah, Tottenham away has, and I'd say City probably because it's been so long. Yeah, that makes up the top 5, man. That makes up the top 5. Big up though, for the super chat. JRMF says, Gabriel reminds me of Draymond Green in basketball. He may lose his head here and there, but there's no doubt he's elite defensively. Also, he's an emotional spark plug, and you need guys like that. You do. He's always the guy backing. Like, problems on the pitch, or he's always the guy that's on it. Big up Ryan as well. Hope you're good, my bro. Turkish and Curtis, big up yourselves. Saliba and Gabriel give me quote Adams and Bold and Toure and Campbell vibes. Hopefully Arsenal get over the line this season. Still not convinced with Mikel Arteta, but Burnley next.
Yeah, man.
Big up Brian.
That's right.
And Brio also says it. The longer Arteta proves me wrong, the happier I am. 100%. I mean, even Ryan there, he mentioned at the end. Listen, there's we're very much back in the title race, so I don't even think there's a need to question it. This is what opposition fans would thrive off, and that's why anytime Arsenal do lose or go on a bad run, the opposition fans are more vocal than they are for any other club, because they want to see us back into that habit of questioning, arguing amongst ourselves, in, out, roundabouts, all of this stuff. Like, they want it more than anything. So there's a thin line of balance between us saying and expressing what we want, but it has to be at the right times. It has to make sense. And right now, let's see how this season pans out, and then we'll talk. Even though we will talk, and we know next season how it's going to be set up, regardless of how this season ends, because it's very much it's very much. I think with us now, Curtis. You see, a couple of weeks ago, people were saying, "Oh, if we lost to Liverpool, it's a top 4 race." I never saw it like that. I thought if we lost to Liverpool, we're going to finish 3rd. That's how I saw it, because I don't think from there it's a top 4 race. Are you with me with that, or do you think
I get you. Yeah,
we're there? Like, it's not the top 2 could be there, but we would be 3rd, and then the rest of them below. So yeah, I'm not even entertaining that this season. If it did happen, then obviously we'd have to talk about it again. I think Martinelli's made for Champions League. So is Jesus at this rate as well, with his record this season. Man said that he Arteta in there. But this is what even when I had questions about Arteta and I was getting asked, are you Arteta out? I made sure I never said those words together, because it's a bandwagon thing now. It's just for me, for me, it's just it's a buzzword now. It's like out, this, out, that, and people might say it's rich coming from me because I was birthed from the Wenger out era and whatnot. Cool, but that's part of why I'm tired. Since Wenger out, we've heard out everywhere. Not just this club, but it's become a trend all over the gaff, and not just managers, directors of football and coaches and players and physios, and it's just all over the gaff. So I don't really want to get dragged into all that. If I have problems, I say I've got problems. If I'm happy, I say I'm happy. People will call that sitting on the fence, bro. But
bro, you see how I see it, and listen, I get a lot of like slack from it, because I've been vocal about Arteta, and yesterday after the game I said Mikel Arteta, I've always rated him.
I saw that.
This man in the comments, you don't even deserve Arteta. I said, brother, you see, one time you're gonna come into your yard Monday night, you're gonna have spaghetti bolognese, right? Maybe you're not, but I'm just saying is that you're gonna have a spaghetti bolognese, and it's gonna taste great, right? You got the cheese on it. It's gonna bang. 2 weeks later, spaghetti bolognese. Something just ain't right with it. Did you enjoy it? Nah, man, it didn't bang like that last one. That's the reality of football, bro. Some days, Mikel Arteta, I'm like, bro, I don't know if you should be it. You know what I mean? We've had some bad results. Things ain't going right. You never had no experience. Maybe you're not the right guy. But then there's another week. We're in the title race, playing great football. Yeah. Stay there, man. Relax. You're my manager. I don't know how it'll be next week. That's the reality of football. People think there's a rule book to how to be a football fan. You know what I mean? There's no rule book, bro. You support your team how you want to support your team. Nobody can't tell you your experience. That's the beauty of football. You know what I mean? So when they start, that's why I just throw grenades on Twitter. I say, yeah, man, enjoy that. They're in the comments going crazy.
They get so rattled, bro. They get so rattled. The other day, I think AFTV posted something. I was in it, and sometimes I'm bored, and I just decide to let me go into the comment section of videos I'm in or clips I'm in. Let me see what people are saying and reply to a couple of them. And to be honest, hands up, I do tend to reply to more negative than positive, but I do reply to a fair few positive as well. But that just tends to be the case. The recent one, which has been a common one over the years, we don't need fans like you. We need positivity, and we need support and backing and all that. And I just opened the guy's profile, named Saif, Saif, and something else. I'm not even gonna just say the whole thing, but he might be watching. He might be a fan. And the guy looks like he's like 21 years old, bro. And I'm thinking, all right, if you don't need me for what? Because I'm me. I've been me for I'm 35 now. I've been me for 35. I've seen us win leagues. So me, the way I am, I've seen us win leagues. But you, the way you are, positivity all the time, backing support. You haven't seen the club win leagues. So maybe it's you we don't need. Maybe it's actually that we don't need, because I've seen success. Yeah. But yeah, the comment sections give me jokes. Today, bro. You see,
listen, but we got to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw clips, man, saying, yo, talk to your boy. I'm like, what? Like, yo, 5 out of 10. I'm like, bro, that's man's opinion, isn't it? It's not a fact what you rate the man at. What do you watch the game, you rate him what you think. So I don't know why. I've always said, no one's football opinion will ever rattle me. We can all watch the same game and think totally different things. If you said, yo, he played amazing. I say, cool, that's what you think. I don't agree.
That's where we differ. That
Go
rattles
on.
me, bro. Because if you say he played amazing, yeah, or great, or use great, amazing, whatever other words you can use along those, I think you're tapped.
Oh, you're on that one. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
I can't believe it. Like, I can't. I'm intrigued to know how their brain, is functioning,
yeah. How
because
he's seeing it.
it's not like it's not working at either the right pace or the right. I don't know what it is, because how can you? We're gonna get into it now, anyway. But sorry,
Come on,
continue.
break it, bro. I'm waiting. This is what I came here for today. Yeah, Havertz 5 out of 10 player ratings. Do you know what I'm saying? I think I gave him 6.5 in my player ratings.
And
Yeah,
bro, you gave him a 6.5, and you know what? I know the game. I know you gave him a 6.5 because really you wanted to give him a 6, but he probably done a bit better than you're used to. So 6.5. It when I get it, but that's close to a 5. It's close to it's not far off. It's fucking 1.5 off.
Do you know what? I want to ask you something, right? Do you, because this is something that always gets me and the player ratings with Robbie. I was always told that 6 was average performance. Robbie uses 5 as an average performance.
So do I.
You use 5 as average? Okay, fair. So in your mind, then you're giving Havertz an average player rating. You're saying he had an average game basically with a 5.
Yeah. Average game, bro. I don't get it, and it's all when people say this whole I'm going to bring up wages again, bro, because wages form a big part of my argument here. Because
I get it. I
don't know how people side this off. Like, this is what makes me feel people are tapped as well. How do you side off the fact that you're the highest paid player? So I do expect, at least more often than not, the most productivity out of you.
Yeah.
We talked last week about big ratings off the back of fouls against and this sort of metric. This week it's his part. What was it? Some things I've heard. His passing was amazing, someone said, and I'm just thinking, I didn't see it. I didn't see it today. That's why average. Again, I haven't dissed him. I've said it's an average performance. I haven't said it's a bad shit performance. I've said average performance, especially when you consider the context of wages. It's all relative. Like, any business, any walk of life, if you get offered more wages than you're currently on, or if you're the highest paid player in an organization, it could be the post office, then they're gonna expect more out of you than the person who's just underpaid less. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how people can completely remove that context. And would it be fair on Xhaka? Let's go back to, would it be fair? Remember how critical I was of Xhaka over the years, yeah? Xhaka cost half that price, and Xhaka was on less than half of the wages. Would it now be fair on Xhaka if I all of a sudden turned into some delusional positive madman and just said, this is enough, I'm happy with this? No, it wouldn't be fair on Xhaka because I wasn't happy. Would it be fair on Ozil when I was mentioning he was the highest paid player and I wasn't happy with him? It wouldn't be fair. I'm consistent in how I view it. Whether you people agree right or wrong, I'm consistent with how I view it. And out of the three, Ozil, Xhaka, and now Havertz, all right, Havertz has the least capacity to prove me wrong in that time, let's say, because he's only been here 6 months. But he's also been the poorest out of the three in terms of when they all got their big contracts. Well, not Xhaka. I mean, Xhaka took 5 years, then had a great season, in my opinion. But with Ozil's, it was the big contract. So those two arguments are different. The person he's upgrading on, I was quite critical of. And the last person who was on high wages, I was critical of. And Oba, the same thing. Oba and Ozil are on a different planet to Havertz, but I was still critical of them. I was like, they're not doing enough for what we're paying them. So why wouldn't I bring it up again? It's all relative, especially when FFP is now apparently a concern. When FFP is a concern in the summer, if it comes to May and this club comes out and says, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just trying to give the people that don't understand what I'm saying a bit more insight. If the club come out and say, our hands are tied behind our back again, we ain't going to be able to spend what you might want us to spend, or you might think we're going to spend. If they say that, what do you think what do you think we look at next, or we should look at next? Wages is probably the first thing you then look at.
Yeah.
Or you look at player sales and player value. So player value and wages. And it's a balance between getting maybe some of the big wages off the books or getting the highest fee for some of the players. And you don't want to lose your best players, the highest fees, but then you might be paying someone more that doesn't. And that's when it becomes more of a problem. I've seen Ozil become a problem financially for us. I've seen Oba add on to that problem financially for us. All I'm saying now is people can't dismiss the context of wages when we're talking about player ratings, because if you're a 7 million kid that's come from the Brazilian second tier and you play good, and you're a man that's 24, that's played 3 years in the league and come on the highest wages and play good, the good for the 7 million Brazilian kid from the second division is going to be higher rated than the good for the guy that's been in the league for 4 years that's on the most wages.
Yeah.
Is that bias? I don't think it's bias. I just think it's context to the rating.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, bro, because people will say, like, okay, don't worry about the wages. Like, people throw that around a lot of the time. But we know as fans now, we get enough information to know that these kind of deals affect you long term. It isn't just the impact of what he's doing on the pitch. How do you get him out of the door if you want to move him on? How do you sign somebody else and give them 200-300 grand a week? You know, it has implications down the line, as we've seen with Pepe, as we saw with Aubameyang, with Ozil. At least with Ozil, you can justify it by saying at one point during his Arsenal career, he was an outstanding football player. He was the creative player. Everybody had to try and stop him. Aubameyang was the goal scorer that carried us on his back for probably 2.5 years.
That's when I the FA Cup.
Plus, and won us an FA Cup. And Ozil won us trophies as well.
Yeah.
But you look at Havertz. I mean, listen, he's improved slightly. He has, but it's still not enough for us to be saying I'm happy with him or it's at the level that I want. Like, we took so long to get rid of Granit Xhaka. We actually sold him on the back of his best ever season. Yeah. And then you're thinking, we've gone through all that to manage to get him out. You've cleared it. You've got rid of wages like Ozil and Oba and all these guys. So now you can go and get, and you put so much of it on a player and it feels like you've gone backwards because you're in a situation where you're like, you've took so long to give yourself that option and you've signed somebody that he doesn't even look better than what Xhaka was last year. So it does feel like a backward step. It does. There's no way we can argue with that. Now, we don't know the long-term effects. You know, can we get him in a situation where he doesn't affect us in a negative manner? Is he, you know, I don't know the route that you go down with him. Do you play him up front? Do you play him in midfield? Do you bench him? Do you sell him? I don't know. But Arteta's going to stick with him for a long time, in my opinion, because he's desperate to justify, you know, why he signed him. And I think with yesterday's, I don't know if you saw, I did press conference reaction today. He was asked about Kai Havertz's performance.
Yeah.
And he was saying, you know, the way I told him to get in space and keep the ball ticking. So I was very much looking at, okay, so what, because this has always been my thing with Arteta. What is the aim of Havertz in this team under Mikel Arteta? Is it just to keep the ball ticking? Is it to score and get assists? Is it his work rate? What is the aim of what? But he is clearly happy with him. I don't think he had a bad game yesterday. I think he was part of a victory. I always say a win doesn't mean everybody played well. A defeat doesn't mean everybody played bad. I thought he was one of the quieter players because, you know, no goal, no assist, wasn't much of a goal threat. But he was okay. He was okay. So, you know, if 5 is your average, to me, I always say 6 is average. I see where you're coming from. I thought it was an average performance. I don't think he did nothing that's made you excited about him or anything. So,
yeah, people just are lowering the bar and then shouting when you don't want to go mad about average performances. That's just how I see it. Like, and to be honest, I even feel like I'm being nice sometimes with a 5, but I don't even want to get into it like that either because the amount of shit I'm getting across socials right now, bro. It's a blessing. I gave a 5. It's a blessing. It's
bro. Imagine if you gave the 4 or something like that,
bro. well, to be honest, in the video, I did say 5. I said against Liverpool, he was a 5, closer to a 6. I said against West Ham, he was a 5, closer to a 4. So, thankfully, I didn't actually say, nah, fuck it, 4. But
Yeah.
I just expect more. And you know what? In the back of my mind, maybe there is a bit of like, I know this transfer is going to cost us dearly. So maybe I should enjoy the moment that we're still in a title race, and maybe, we'll win a major trophy in the next couple of years and break that hoodoo for the last whatever. Maybe I should. But I'm just coming out of an era where, as an Arsenal fan, man was used and abused by the ownership, dragged through the mud, using like mistakes made time and time again, from going from a profit-making company to a loss-making company for the first time in our Premier League history and our Emirates era history. That what happened in 2019. We still haven't recovered financially from that in terms of a profit-making club yet. I know maybe we're close because we've eliminated the wages in quite a ruthless way, but there's an argument that the lack of money coming in on these transfers and the cutting of contracts probably balances that out. So we might not be profit making again. Hence why this whole FFP thing is such a concern. And then Saka, Martinelli, Saliba, these contract renewals are coming in 12 months. At least 12 months. Bro, if you're these man, and then your Havertz is on 275, and I think when you asked, what do we do with him? We can't sell him. And no, okay, let me not talk about what I would do. What do we think Arteta's going to do? Arteta's definitely not going to sell him. He's not entertaining that. So he's going to have to become a squad player, because I think sooner or later the realization is going to come in that he's not a starter. So he's going to be a squad player. But what happens when these men are looking at his contract saying, well, you're paying him 275? That's what I need. I should be asking for more, but that's what I need. Now you've got 4 men, maybe Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and someone else, Saliba, asking for 275. And how many clubs in world football can afford all these wages? But what the fans will then do all of a sudden then, and this is the roundabout that I've seen over the years that I'm hoping we don't go back into. This is all this could be all PTSD, people. I'm smiling now because I'm happy. Arsenal are doing good. This is just PTSD. But when a couple players decide to leave that we love because of wages, we then turn on the player and we forget that it's the club fucking about.
Exactly. That's why we're here.
Yeah, we've done this before many times. So I'm just weary that this transfer potentially puts us down that path. And maybe that's not fair on player ratings per game, maybe, but I'm not using all of that context. And all I'm saying is, who's the highest paid player on the pitch?
Yeah.
If you go to an all-star game, a Premier League all-star game or like whatever, if it happened, or NBA and whatnot, LeBron James, or when Kobe was alive, Kobe, and this type of, Jordans and, Messi's and Ronaldinho's and Zidane's, that's who you're looking at. You're looking at the star of the show, and quite often the star of the show is the most paid.
Yeah.
So I just have to apply that context because I don't get quite a few super chats from me.
Go on, do the super chats. I'll come in after.
You sure?
Yeah. They might enough.
Bria says the Havertz fans thinks he's bigger than the team. Mr. BP says, random question: do you guys think Trossard's better than Nasri was for us? That's actually quite a good comparison. I like Nasri more. I'll be honest.
I like Nasri more, man. He was magic in my opinion.
Yeah. But
I do like Trossard, of course.
Yeah, and I think Trossard can go down as, I won't say Nasri's a great, so I don't want to say great a player, but Trossard's in an era where it looks like we can. So was Nasri at that time because it was fresh Emirates era, but Trossard might be part of an era where he's like the 12th man or the main rotation option where we actually win a major trophy. So if that happens, then he eclipses Nasri quite easily.
And Nasri was serious baller, man.
Baller. Well, that goal against Porto, we're playing them soon. It's been replayed a few times, but that was quality. I remember the United one as well, Van der Sar. Do you remember that?
Didn't he score 2 in the same game or something against United?
So, yeah.
Baller. Yeah.
Sam says, over 20 games played, 0 man of the match performances. Not good for the 3rd most expensive signing in the club's history. No, he wasn't this nice on Pepe, but yeah,
exactly.
And he was on half the wages. But listen, Lamin says, I gotta mention it, bro. It's crazy, bro. I can't. I don't understand.
Wait,
And
this
Pocket,
super chat, by the way, is sending me as
yeah,
well.
I saw it earlier. I saw it. I wanted to get it in earlier. Lamin says, imagine Sheik Luch earning the most out of the locks while rapping the best. Alexa, play Jadakiss featuring Anthony Hamilton. Why? Arteta, we are watching.
Yo, I'm telling you,
Oh,
man, listen. One thing I've
right.
realized, you see this Havertz thing, right? No agendas, but I refuse to compromise my beliefs on that deal. I will not allow it to change until I see performances, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm willing to say I was wrong if the guy starts balling, but
Yeah.
until that point, nah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. And now there's rumors about De Jong being available. And when you think about, all right, how much would De Jong cost? You'd probably say 65 mil and give him about 200K a week. And would be nice. But here we are. We've just let me not. Let me not. I big up Lamin, man. I hope you're good, my bro. Tevin, hope you're good as well, my bro. Big up my G's. Enough respect to you both. Do you think Trossard is more of a Freddy type player impact? We're talking about Ljungberg. Do I think Freddie was more electric and Trossard more technical. What do you
Yeah,
What do you think?
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
Trossard, I think's got a bit more technically
Yeah,
left foot, right foot.
yeah,
Lumberg was quite direct, 20 dribbler.
yeah. Ljungberg was very direct, like final phase player between the lines, feeding through. Kind of, he had that 1-2 with Perez and Henry on lock. Yeah, whereas Trossard more comes for the ball and dictates a little bit more. Sam says, no need to sugarcoat. The higher the wages, the harder it is to sell a player if they flop, meaning another trademark contract termination is likely. Yeah, and that's what's in the back of my head. Termination, loan moves, all of that stuff. What can we do? We're here now. Samuel says, based on U2's generation, how excited did you get watching the Super Bowl halftime performance by Usher? I haven't seen it. And I know what it was about, but I haven't seen it yet. What was you saying, Curtis?
No, I didn't watch it live. I saw some of the replay of it. I think I stayed up that year when it was like Dre and Snoop and 50.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
stayed up
yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
But
2 years
Usher and
ago?
a couple of years ago, won it.
Yeah.
But Usher and Alicia Keys, bro, I'm not staying up for that. Bro, in the middle of the night.
It's like what, 5 a.m., 4 a.m. or something?
5 a.m. They want me to sing Let It Burn at 5 a.m. Like, oh man, I'm going to sleep.
Oh my god, man said let it burn at 5 a.m. Hey. It's all right, big up Samuel, man. Big up. I will rewatch it. They're legends. I don't get it twisted. They're legends. But yeah, it's all 5 a.m. for that. It's all mad. It's all mad. Ricky says, big up, guys. Hope all is good. I know the best, but what is the worst we can accept come May to positively endorse Arteta to continue? Okay. I know the best, but what is the worst we can accept? Okay, so you're asking to positively endorse. So you're not asking from the club's angle. So you're asking from our angle. But positively endorse is a difficult one. It's a difficult one. You can I don't know. You can positively endorse if we challenge up until game week 30, 35, 36. You know, if you stay in the title race up until then and it doesn't happen, then you can positively endorse, I'd say. But what do you think?
And then they got to have a proper Champions League run as well. Like, can't be getting knocked out by Porter. Like, I'm looking semi-final minimum, to be honest.
Yeah.
Unless we get a Madrid or City in the quarters, sometimes you might have to just hold your hands up and say that. But
that's the only two, though, really.
Yeah, even Bayern don't look good. Look at what Leverkusen done to them, 3-0 and that. Like,
Don't get it twisted. If we fair people before people run away with this, if we faced Bayern and we lost, it wouldn't be a case of I can't believe we lost to Bayern. Bayern have still got that heritage, but I'm a lot more confident against Bayern now than I was going into the season. Whereas with Real Madrid and City, if we was to face them, I think it's curtain. So we need them to face off against each other.
Yeah.
Tevin says, when you mentioned Reggie Miller is your fave baller, I knew Havertz ain't getting your ratings. You're proper old school Turkish, real dog. Come on, bro. Reggie. Man.
Reggie, you know.
Reggie, OG
You
Reggie.
like that dog, that spirit in it. You ain't in that
Bro,
Havertz.
bro.
Havertz don't really have no emotion on his face, does he? Like
Nah,
he's
nah.
very calm. He's very one way.
I s-
It's like
Bro, am I going mad, or was there an article where or was this made up where he said
donkey,
his favorite animal is a donkey?
bro. I spoke about. He said his nickname is Donkey at Arsenal.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't get
He's
it.
a troll, bro. He's a real life troll. I'm telling you.
The man in my Arsenal are taking the piss, bro, and he doesn't get it. They're taking the piss. He doesn't get why they're calling him that. He doesn't
Bro,
get why
that
they're
was a
calling him.
tax write-off, man. Come on.
Man
You know
said
what
there
I
was a
mean?
tax write-off.
You
What are you
get
saying? It's
towards
in
the
the
end of
expenses.
April, you know, you get to the end of April, you say, "Oh, the books aren't balancing, man. Something's got. We go and buy Havertz."
Bro, only explanation could be that. Still, it
Telling
could be
you.
that. People said Pepe was a fraud move, bro. I don't know. This one might be. We might hear about this in 2-3 years, bro. Other man are leaving the club.
Yeah,
But Tevin, big up though, because that whole Pacers
big
side.
up.
I'm glad you know, because that Ron Artest, Jermaine
He knows.
O'Neal, they was on it. I know the Pistons were on it as well, yeah. Ben Wallace and all them, man. But Pacers were on it, bro. Ron Artest was a
Is
madman.
Reggie Miller
Reggie.
your favorite basketballer then of all time?
Yeah, I like, because I played basketball in school as well. I was in the school
Yeah,
team. We was actually pretty good. I was decent. I was a 3-point shooter because of Reggie. Like, I preferred
yeah,
free
yeah,
point. Back then, it was more post moves and power
yeah,
forward.
yeah,
Like, and I was a big guy that could shoot. And
yeah, yeah,
so, and then the phase came in where off the back of him, it was Ray Allen and then Steph Curry
yeah,
and
yeah,
so on. So the NBA is more about threes now than anything. So
yeah.
I feel like Reggie he doesn't get the flowers that he deserves, but I think the lack of a title, even Jordan, the Jordan documentary, Jordan, I think put him as one of his biggest rivals.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's
Proper
got that.
player,
He's
man.
got that in him.
I used to love Allen Iverson, bro. You know what I mean?
Ah,
Philly.
bro, AI was cold. AI
AI,
was
bro.
cold.
Cane Rose, bandana,
Cold.
earrings, bro. When I used to play, I thought I was Iverson. I couldn't, I didn't have the handles like Iverson,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's just
The only man to cross Jordan as well, bro.
come on,
That video is
badly,
timeless, bro.
badly, bro.
Timeless.
And he was in that hip hop thing, one. He really got into the hip hop culture and
Yeah,
basketball. So
yeah.
yeah, AI,
Another
man.
one that I'm vexed he didn't win a ring, man. Like I thought,
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
so
thought,
he's ran down right on cue.
come on, look
You
at
know
that.
what I mean?
Hey, OG, where's my Pacers jersey? Don't make me
Here
pull
he
it out,
goes. Look, what's on the shelf?
bruv. I don't know where my Pacers jersey is still, but it's somewhere, man. It's somewhere. I'll pull it out one day. I'll pull it out.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
proper
Well,
thing as well. You
yeah,
know, from America where it's all the stitching, and I was like, get it, but
yeah,
it's massive, bro. I don't know what I was
yeah.
doing back then, but I AI was, I'm vexed because Reggie's
Well,
one that he should have won a ring.
yeah,
AI, and I thought when AI hooked up with Carmelo, I thought,
yeah.
he's gonna go get his ring now, like let him do his thing. But it just even Carmelo,
Didn't
like
happen.
I'm not the guy to follow the hype all the time. So when LeBron and Wade were 1 and 2 picks, I think
Mhm.
Carmelo was third. So I thought Carmelo's my guy. Like let me go because
Yeah,
everyone's going with LeBron and Wade and
yeah,
whatnot. Let
yeah.
me go with Carmelo, and even he didn't. He married that. Who was his wife? I don't know if they're still
The
together,
actress,
but
isn't it? Ain't it the girl from
Lala,
No, no, yeah,
Power.
Power.
Was it
Yeah, yeah,
Power?
Power.
That's his
Yeah,
brethren.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what he became more known for in the end.
yeah.
Tevin says Dwayne Wade is my guy, not to on what he's been on
Mhm.
recent. Oh, yeah, please. But he is
Uh,
amazing. If he had healthy knees, he'd be in top 20 conversations, in my opinion. Probably.
yeah.
I do
Oh,
think that
mate. He,
the whole Miami Heat super team thing kind of didn't do Wade as much favor as he might have had if he led the team himself,
yeah.
though.
LeBron
Do you get
got a
what I
lot of the
mean?
flowers, didn't he? Where
LeBron was just taking it all, like
yeah,
so. I don't know if that plays a part in it.
yeah,
Sorry, people. If
yeah.
got
We're
bare
going way off topic.
football fans here. Tevin, big up, big up. Alex says minimum expectation for Arteta challenging and or Champions League until at least near the end, and doing
Yeah.
it next season with the aim of winning. Alex, if we're talking about next season, it's a must. Title Champions League is a must. If the question is Arteta's at their helm next season, we didn't win anything this season, but we challenged again and we made the quarterfinals of the next season is a must. Like there has to come a point where it's must.
Yeah.
Wenger, that point came a lot, sooner than when they let him go. We cannot, we must phase 4, phase 5, whatever it is. It's the time is now, or it would be now next year. Brio says, funny how our defensive mistakes happen when centre backs try to cover our left back and right back being caught out of position. Defensive mistakes happen when centre backs. Oh, when everyone moves over because the left back and the inverting stuff and whatnot. What do you think of Kivior? I mean, yesterday, I don't know.
I mean, listen, I gave him a bit of a sympathy rating in the fact that I keep saying, look, he's not a natural left back. Kudos, he kept him quiet, really.
Yeah.
But let's be real, man. We're not secure with him at left back. You're waiting for a mistake or something. So he's not the answer. I feel for him because he was rated in Italy, but we've hardly seen him at centre back. So we don't really know if he's good.
That's the thing. I think Gavard. Listen, this is a whole nother level because Gavardio was rated with Saliba as a top young centre back, but you see how Gavardio is being played at left back this season, and he's kind of, I won't say been exposed because that's not his position, but his reputation has taken a hit this season because of being played at left back. So the job is very different to left-sided centre back. Not moaning because Gabriel's my guy, and I want Gabriel to be there every game. So Kivior is just. Again, left back is the position that with Arteta that I can't say it's your fault. Timber, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and they're all injured. It's just fucked.
Yeah.
Lib says, let's do the double over City this season. I have faith in the boys. I believe we can do it. Listen, I'm contemplating Etihad. I haven't been there in a few years. I've avoided it, but I'm contemplating it. Ryan says, don't get me wrong, I'm all for Arteta proving me wrong, but Turks and Kurt's got a question for you both. What ground do you think Arsenal will win at first and why? Anfield or Etihad? Well, we've got one Etihad trip left this season, none Anfield. To predict the winner at Etihad this season, I think it's a stretch.
See, I'm looking. We play them 31st of March after the international breaks, the last international break. So I'm just thinking.
Do you know how much of a break we got? Because the weekend before the international break is FA Cup, and I think if
is it?
And that weekend is Chelsea, and Chelsea are still in the FA Cup. So our break is going to be like 2.5 weeks, bro.
Is that right? Yeah. Oh yeah, because Chelsea. Yeah, they're still in the FA Cup, right? Yeah. If they beat Leeds in this round, I think our game against Chelsea gets called off, and they got Leeds at home, so you would expect them to win. So we could have a long break, but yeah, you would hope we get some players back though, man. Partey surely be back by then. Jesus, maybe even Timber. I think they said end of March. Timber might be back, but who knows? We need to beat City. We need to beat City at the Etihad. Like we used to play around at that ground. I know we're going down memory lane again, but that was you go Etihad. That was light work. Like that, they had an old Schmeichel in goal. Henry was lobbing him, and we were playing around up there, bro. You know what I mean? We need to go and clip them lot up in Manchester, man.
It's about time though. If we do that this season, I can't lie. That's the last title race fixture we have left in terms of the three at the top.
Yeah,
if we can do that and Liverpool can do something against them as well, then yeah. But bro, I can't lie. I look at City now and I'm thinking it seems like they've done it again. They're on the same points they was on last season at this time. Haaland's just come back to it. Just De Bruyne's come back. I think he's got a goal or an assist in every game I've seen him in. It just feels like they're gonna...
You know, you used to talk about that roundabout. Man City is a roundabout. You watch the game, you turn it on, you think, right, they'll win this easily. Then they get to like even that Everton game the other day, 60 minutes 0-0. I'm starting to believe like, yo, are they gonna drop points? Even a 0-0, I'll take it. And then they score, and you're like, what was you thinking? Like, and then they score again, and you're just like. And then the guy was like, the commentator was like, a Man City have won 10 games in a row. And you're like,
yeah,
you just feel like it's inevitable, innit? They're going to win like 15, 16 games in a row. Haaland's going to bag. And it's just like, they're a cheat code.
Pep needs to go, man. Pep needs to go. I'm sick to death of him, man. I'm
So
sick
am
to
I.
death. Like,
So am I.
like, big up, man. You're a legend, but please just go Italy now, man. Please, bro. Go sort Juventus or Inter or pick up one of them big Italian clubs, Heritage, AC Milan. Go get AC. That should be his next one. Go get AC Milan
Mm.
and put them back where they should be. Please, this season, if you do the 4-peat, you've done the treble. Invincibles ain't happening, unfortunately. Just leave in the summer, and no hard feelings, bro. No hard
Yeah,
feelings.
yeah, it's true. You've won everything, man. Go now, man.
I've got AC, man. PSG, just do what? Look, one of those two, Pep, man. Please.
Yeah.
Rigo says, with the games left for Liverpool and City, which teams can realistically get results against them that favour Arsenal?
Well, they
It's
play
hard.
each
Well,
other, don't they? Anyway, at Anfield.
Anfield. I'd want Liverpool to win that, if I'm honest. Draw being
Yeah.
the second. Aside from that, who else do they have? Really, I mean,
I'm just looking
Man
here.
United, Man City. Where's that one? Is that
Yeah,
OT or?
it's a Etihad. So I think they beat them.
Yeah, they're finished.
They go to Brighton. They've got Villa at home. They got Tottenham away. That's always tough for them.
Yeah, it could be. It's hard to predict with City, man. You expect them to
Yeah.
win 90% of the game, 99% of the games, really.
Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool got Man United at Old Trafford. They got Villa away. They got Tottenham at home. They got City at home. It's hard to predict.
Okay.
Our running's actually quite hard as well because we got to go to Tottenham. We got to go to Man United. We got to go to
Yeah,
Brighton. Got to go to Man City. We play a lot of the top 10 away.
mad.
So it's
Which,
a lot.
if we can just hold this away form that we've got, well, since last season, then
Yeah.
it could bode well for us. But Tevin says, stopped watching City since last year. They break my heart every time. They are inevitable. I think we can beat Liverpool, but only to second. Tony or Victor Osimhen?
I mean, listen, man.
We done this last week, innit?
We've done this. Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm taking Ivan Toney. I don't like to judge Osimhen off AFCON because it's hard to judge, but he didn't do a lot in that competition at all. And I always feel a bit underwhelmed when I watch him. But if that's the one they want, go for him. But I don't know. Toney.
I understand. I understand the doubts. I just lean back on what I said last week, where
Yeah.
there's doubts about every striker in the market now that's attainable.
Yeah.
With Osimhen, I just feel like if we bought him and it works, it means we win a league title. With Tony, I think if we bought him and it works, it means we, at the very least, challenge. I don't know if it definitely brings you a league title with Tony, but at this rate with Jesus, I can't lie. If Osimhen's costing 100 and 120 mil, and Tony we can get for 60, 70, then I'd rather take a Tony and a Pender, two strikers coming in,
And get rid of both strikers.
Not even get rid of Jesus. I'd just keep him on, in terms of, listen, you've had a few injuries now. If you're fit, we can play you right wing. If you're fit, we can play you up front sometimes. If you're fit, left wing, but we're not going to rely on you anymore. And we still got, it just adds to our options, bro. Because I think players like Vieira will leave, Smith Rowe will leave. So in the attack, we will need options as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think bringing in two strikers now is a necessity. Whether that happens in one summer or two, I think with Jesus' record now and Eddie, I think as my friend Saeed would say, the curtains are on the wall for him this summer.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah. Bro, ain't it mad, that, and I know it's crazy, and I know obviously press conference in America, but ain't it crazy that Mbappé is out of contract this summer? We need a striker desperately.
Don't gas me, bro.
When like, and I said this before, I explained this before. I said, we're supposed to be in the conversation. Even if he rejects us and says, you know what, I can go Madrid, thanks for the offer, but I considered it. But we should be, because realistically, people will say, okay, he's on 900 grand a week, you can't afford him, but you're getting him for nothing. So the 110 million you're spending on Osimhen, that's 2 years' wages on Mbappe. Do you know what I mean?
Bro. And sorry to bring it back to we're talking about wages now, so people shouldn't say I'm coming from the. We're on the subject, yeah. The same fans that will tell me to stop talking about wages when it comes to Havertz will be the same fans that say I don't want Mbappe. He'll cost too much wages. Brother, if Havertz is on 275k, then Mbappe is right to ask for 800k. So please, like this is what I mean about wages. Yeah, wages have gone mad. Yeah, and they need to be kept under. But with Mbappe, if there was any chance in hell we can get him, any chance, lay the 14 shirt out for him, lay as much money as possible, because that guy guarantees you major trophies. Guarantees you major trophies.
You win the
Like
title.
100%, 100%, 100%. There's no other player out there that's attainable that wins Arsenal the title for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Mbappe is that one. Like, he is that one. I'd say Haaland's another one where if he was to join Liverpool or to join Arsenal, I think he's a difference maker to the title, but he's not attainable. Mbappe is the only other one.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, 900k per week is mad. It is mad, Idris. It is, but again, look at the wages on show these days with these players. Like he's on another level to these players, so he's probably looking at it like, brother, if these men are on 300k, then I need at least 3 times that. Brio says donkeys don't show emotions, and AMT says Arteta a fraud. So many rival fans said it. Can't say he's a fraud, that's for sure. Were you laughing at my bro?
No, donkeys don't show him. My days. That guy ain't serious. He's a troll, man. I'm convinced.
Yeah, but listen, big up everyone that sent in the super chats, man. Make sure you go subscribe to Curtis's channel as well. I think we've rounded off everything in terms of the Arsenal game, in terms of super chats. We've touched on a bit of NBA.
Yeah, man. I mean, Burnley this week. It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be another. I'm expecting a comfy victory there. I know Burnley away. This ain't Burnley away. Sean Dyche, where you're getting elbowed on the nose. This is Vincent Kompany trying to play like Man City, but doesn't have top players.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting at least a 3-4-0. Yeah, it should be light work. Clean sheet, light work. Keep it moving.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Porto a few days after.
What is Porto's
not
next week?
Next Wednesday. Champions League's tomorrow. Yeah, Champions League's tomorrow. Man City playing tomorrow. Copenhagen. We play next week.
Okay.
Away leg.
That's come up fast. And then but the next game's not 2 weeks later. It's like 3 weeks later or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
weird
3 weeks after. Yeah.
We've been out of the competition a long time. It used to be every 2 weeks, remember?
Yeah.
Now I don't know what's going on. Shit, Champions League back like that. It's all mad. We'll be back on Sunday then, because obviously we play Saturday. So we might as well do a Sunday night show again. Aside from that, rounding off everything, Arsenal done, Liverpool City won, Tottenham United left it late. I'm going to discuss all this on the Big Six anyway. Lamin with the buzzer beater, super chat. Let me get this one in, people. If we ever sign Mbappe, Nines himself will strip Nketiah off his number 14 shirt, and I'll be here for it. F it. Might as well drop Arsenal ICB merch. Get your chains back. Get your number back. Will be the new one, 2024. But listen, if Mbappe was to come, let a man dream, man. Let a man dream.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how Arteta would do with it, but yeah. All right, bro. You live on your channel tomorrow, or?
Yeah, 2 p.m. Just midweek show, tick over, and that. What time's Big Six tonight?
10:30, so about 3 hours. So after the Chelsea game.
After the game, yeah. I'll tune in, man. Tune in. No one really lost, did they? So you ain't, unless Chelsea lose.
Oh yeah, away to Palace. Palace are poor right now. Chelsea seem to be on a bit of a run, so they should
hardly ever see Big Six and everyone's won. That's going to be a bit mad.
Nah, it's happened only a couple of times. I think once earlier this season as well.
Yeah.
900k a week for a 4-year contract, just 43 million. It's attainable. Well, yeah, we on top of the free contract. I mean, no transfer fee. Sorry, 900k a week for 4 years is 43 million. Is that what it works? That sounds about right.
Is that 43 million per year? Yeah. Or we? Because it's 4 million a month, isn't it? Nearly 4 million.
Yeah, but that works out. But without the transfer fee, that's 8. What a 4-year contract is.
Okay.
Is 160 mil.
Which ain't bad, really. You could Osimhen's going to cost you 110. You're going to give him at least 300 bags a week. He would cost way more. So
It's the numbers are mad. To be honest, I never thought Arsenal would spend over 100 million on a player, and we done that last summer. We was told to be excited 5 years ago now, so let me be excited. Curtis, love as always, my bro. We'll be
There
back
you go.
Sunday. Come on,
Yeah.
show some love to Curtis, people. He's live tomorrow. I'll be back Sunday with Curtis. Still this once a week, but more shows coming back to the channel. Hit the like button. Love for the love as always, and we're out. Peace.